What is good, everybody? This is Donnie B.GotDaBeats. We live on Two Flew West here with my brother Nicholas Baker, and we had our little sister Jordan King on, but
You know what she got to do? Look, make that entrance. It is what it is.
Location, sorry.
no, make sure you're comfortable. All right, make sure you're comfortable. But now, again, Jordan King, our little sis man, family from way back, way back. Like we seen here, we go back. You know what I'm saying? And so delighted to see her progress and all of the moves she's made over the years, and just good to reconnect with the sister. So without further ado, recording artist, rapper, singer, songwriter Jordan King. What's good with your sister?
Hello. Thank you guys for having me. First and foremost, it's been a minute, yo. It's gonna be so good to catch up with y'all. Like it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a grip.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, that's what y'all say out there now. It's been a grip.
Yeah, what?
That's what y'all say out there now. That's what the kids are saying.
The kids? Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying as a kid. I don't know.
They say a month of Sundays.
Yeah.
One of them things, like months of moons, whatever they say. You know, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. How about that? Let's keep it simple, keep it straight. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Exactly. So where you at now, Jordan?
I'm in New York.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Killing
I know you like Carmen San Diego these days. I'm like, where in the world is Jordan? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody think, but I feel like I be in the same place, so I don't know why people feel like that.
I mean, we're gonna talk about it a little later because you definitely been in some different places on some different stages that wasn't New York. So
COVID and stuff, now.
I feel that. I feel that COVID kept us all on the couch. So I ain't mad at that. But let's get into it, man. So we know who you are, but let's let everybody know who is Jordan King.
All right. So who is Jordan King? I always feel so weird answering this question because I feel like I don't know. I'd rather somebody else answer it because the way we see ourselves and the way other people see us could sometimes be totally different, and I'd rather someone else tell me. But if I had to say so myself, I'm just a badass entrepreneur, artist, singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, vocalist, lyricist, all of those things, creative, and just a tool for inspiration. I guess I think that just came to me. I don't know.
That was a great answer.
I like it. Humble, shy. Self-proclaimed shy. Self-proclaimed.
I am shy.
We don't believe you. Need more people.
Listen, y'all don't know me for the longest time. Y'all should know more than anybody.
Well, you definitely very humble, man. You get that out of me. But as far as that shyness, man, you better get out of here with that, man. It's about to see you. I just see you work and network, man. That ain't nothing shy.
Okay, but what people don't realize is that sometimes some of the most the most perceived outgoing people are actually introverts and really scared to death of social situations. And to be completely honest with y'all, the only reason why I know how to be social and network is because of music. Like I was forced to get out of my comfort zone because I had to network. And y'all already know as an independent artist, you doing your own business, you negotiating your own contracts, you meeting new people and networking events and this and that. Woo woo. So I'm not going to not do it because I want to progress and be, as best as I, just do my best for myself in my career, until I can get a team that's going to be able to do all that stuff for me. But that's the skill that I had to develop. Like when I first met y'all, that was at my peak shy stage because I was totally
I don't want to talk to anybody.
I don't want to talk to nobody. I really don't.
I feel what you're saying though. That is a big misconception that people have when you see people out and they're kind of doing their thing, mixing and mingling, doing what they got to do, that they are an extrovert. And a lot of times they are introverts because they get home and they're wore the hell out and tired and feel like I need 2 days to recover from everything I just had to do.
Yes.
So I've definitely heard that from a lot of people, artists especially. Like you definitely get on stage and it's something different because you're expressing what you love, but the actual interactions
Right.
be like why you see a lot of artists put on hoodies and glasses because it's like you don't want to come off rude, but you
Exactly.
also kind of
But
want to save your energy.
no offense, no shade, but don't
I
talk.
get it. It is what it is.
Different when it's like when it's a music event. It's like I know what to say. I know the things because I've developed that skill, so I know like what's the small talk in that like setting. But when it
Yeah.
comes to other settings, I just be, oh my god, what do I say to these people? I don't really like small talk. I'm more of like a deep person, and I don't really care for pointless conversation. So
Right.
you know that that weird social stuff is just I don't know. It takes a lot out of me.
Nah, I can dig it.
I can do
Well,
that.
let's talk about how you got started, like rapping, singing, songwriting. Like, how did you get started?
I got started. That's such an odd question. I don't know, because I've always been doing it as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
I think I was actually dancing first. Um, Ballet. I was classically trained in ballet, and I guess that's what started me towards like being on stage when I was like maybe 4 or 5 years old is when I started. But I was always singing even before then. Like when I could talk, I was singing. I got pictures like y'all gonna laugh. Y'all gonna laugh. I can't even tell you how old I was in this picture.
I'm sorry. It jumped out of me. It came out of my soul.
Like,
I thought it'd be nice for you.
There was no words coming out of my mouth in this picture, but I was into it like always.
ready.
Yeah, so you better give them the work. You took out everything like we get this here.
Yeah.
Off the break.
He was always a showman, like for real. Like I definitely understand the stance of being having two separate lives, one on stage and one off stage. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you always just gravitated towards this is me. I own this. Like you know what I mean? And that was always the one thing that was always a good takeaway with you as far as working with you and watching you progress and seeing all of the stuff that's on screen now. I'm like, wow, I know her, man. She doing a thing out there, man. You know what I'm saying? And you was always a showman. You was always good for the cameras, always just never shy about that part. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, when it's time to get off work, you get off work and go home.
Yes, I get off. Yes, that's true. That's true. I appreciate you saying that. I don't know. It's like it's a weird thing when the mic is in front of my face or when the camera is in front of my face. It's just a different ballgame. It's just like something turns on. Or when I'm on stage, it's the stage really that does it for me. Like on stage, oh my god, I miss that.
It's weird. I remember. I think the main thing I remember is this confidence that you had around what you wanted. Like if it was like you were rapping at one point, and it was like I want to sing. And it was like, I want to sing. Like this is gonna happen. Like you can rock with me or you cannot rock with me. But and we could be like, I mean, I hear you, but I think you could do this. And like if you do this and then add that, we can slowly. But I want to sing. So I'm writing a song because I want to sing. And it would be like, okay, like that's what it is. I think
so funny. I forgot about that. Yeah, when I first met y'all, I think y'all had me rapping a lot.
Yeah, y'all had it. That's what you was doing.
Because I was rapping, but it was like I was always catering to whatever situation I was into at the time. So sometimes it called for rapping, sometimes it called for singing. It just depended on the vibe. But with y'all really helped me like, hone in my craft, especially with recording raps. Like I remember y'all staying in the booth with me, like, you got to say it like this and make sure that you don't sound like you're reading off the paper and do it again, this and that, boo, boo. Have your energy and, all that, enunciate. So.
She said, y'all had me rapping. She off the
Y'all had me rapping.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
But I mean, it was what it was. Like I said, I think I always remember the fact of when you started making that stance of this is what I want. and you started going after that and like being like, I mean, this is what I want to do. So I'm gonna figure out what I need to do to make myself better at it. Like, I want y'all help too, but if whatever circumstance makes it to where we ain't together, I'm gonna still figure out how to do what I need to do because this is what I want. So like that energy and that confidence was like always like super impressive from you, especially at like a young age. You
Thank
still
you.
had it. So
Yeah, and to piggyback off that too, I think to even extend it further, just look at it from the perspective of you actually did it. There's a lot of people who talk about what they're going to do or what they want to do, but don't ever even get to the end of the line or it's the where they want to be. And I mean, like he said, it was always like, oh, well, I'm doing this. It was just like, oh okay, well, maybe you could. No, I'm doing this, and then to see it full on be what it is, it's just it's admirable because it's like you said, you didn't let nobody take you away from what it is that you wanted to do, and you were totally in control of your brand, even back then. You know what I mean? So that's admirable. It's awesome.
Thank you guys. That's what I'm talking about when I say like it's so much better for me to hear from other people who is Jordan King, because I don't even remember all that. I don't even recall all of that. But hearing that back gives me extra motivation to be like, all right, I'm definitely going to do it. Because y'all already know, like, this industry is hard as fuck. Am I allowed to curse?
absolutely.
And like, it could be, it'll definitely be days when you be like, I'm quitting this shit right now. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
See y'all next time. See y'all never. But like hearing stuff like that really like makes a difference. So thank you.
Hey, it's real talk, man. We know, like we went back to look Scarlet Fire.
Scarlet Fire.
Like,
hey, like I got the songs too. By the way, I was listening to them this week.
Hey,
what?
I'm just saying we sing.
How embarrassing is that? Like,
not embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing.
It's growth. It's the maturation. Like we saw it all. I remember when you were thinking of going to Jordan King as your name.
For real, you remember that?
Like that conversation. Then, like, should I do this? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm thinking about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how like we've seen and watched you just go into what's happening now. But speaking of creativity and what you do, let's talk about what inspires you to create. Like, what is your process? What do you do? Like,
that's a great question. I feel like people ask artists that all the time, but the real answer is that the process is that there is no process. Especially for me, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, I just have to remain open for inspiration to just kind of flow through me in whatever shape or way that comes in. Sometimes, you can get into this monotony of, okay, I got to listen to this beat and I got to come up with this and I want to make a hook first and I want to start with the first verse or whatever. But it's like, nah, you just let the ideas flow through you. Like whenever, just even a phrase or just a melody, I just, jot it down, voice memo real quick. Sometimes it just turns into a whole song at that point. Sometimes I sit down in the studio and play the beat, put on that, put the mic on and just freestyle, and then that becomes the song. Sometimes I'm working on something for months and it's not right until, that last line after that third month of me working on that same song or whatever. Sometimes it takes a year or even longer than that, depending on how the production is going and all of that. So
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I think I was done. That's it. Go ahead.
I was about to say, do you think that you classify yourself as a creative? Like, because that's a new term that's being coined now. Would you say that?
It's not new. It's just like what do you call it? Like trendy type of. I'm a creative, guys. But yeah, I think everyone is a creative in some way. But yeah, because when I create, I'm not thinking about I am this type of artist, so this is what I'm going to create for this. I'm just thinking about what can I make that's dope and what feels good to me. sometimes it's not something that I'll take for myself. Sometimes it's a song I'm writing for someone else because it fits them better, or whatever the case. So I hope I answered your question. I feel like I'm talking.
No, you did. You did. I think the reason why. Let me give you a backstory. The reason why I asked that question is because what creative means to me is somebody that appreciates art and really dives into the artsy side of it, the less the business side of it, right? And so my thought process is that the term you used was I'm sorry, that you do basically, you do what you feel, right, and what feels right at the time. You don't necessarily have any directive or whatsoever. It's just what you put in the universe is totally aesthetic, and it's totally organic. And so to me, that's like a very Andy Warhol type of state of being, which to me is when somebody they're a creative, they're like in a Warhol type of way where it's just like, look, I put things in the universe. It feels like it should be this. You know what I mean? And so that's why I asked that question. Now, with regard to like knowing your brand and worked with you from time to time, I would like to think that's how I classify you, because you go based off of what you feel more so than what is trying to supply a need, a supply a demand, so forth and so on. And I think that I just want to point a light on that and see if that's how you perceived it. Now, understanding what I'm saying, do you now agree with me, or do you still feel?
I definitely agree with you, and it's interesting. The point you made is really interesting because I feel like being in the music business, you have to be a creative in that time, in that way, but also you have to realize how to, create that supply for the demand, whatever the demand might be at the time, because that's your check for that period of time. So
Right.
you need to write this song about something that you have absolutely no inspiration about, but you got to figure out how to fill that need and how to do it in a way that's gonna reflect well on yourself, and all of that stuff too, and it's gonna also make your client happy and everything like that. So it's definitely been a process to figure out the balance on how to just be a creative, but also to be like supplying that demand, because realistically you're not always going to be having, like, as an artist, especially as an independent artist, you're not going to always have that dream job of you creating whatever you want to create just because people want to hear you or see you create and experience what you create. You have to sometimes fill a demand, and that's real.
Right.
I mean, it's funny listening to you both talk about it. I think I categorize both of you as creatives. I don't think I'm a creative. I think
We better get out of here.
no. Listen to why. Hold up. When you hear why, it may resonate more.
Okay.
I'm a musician, and I
Yeah.
love music, right? And I think, like, even when I write, it always has to be sparked by music.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've heard both of y'all talk about writing rhymes and writing down things, and it's like you can do it out of the blue. Like, I always have to listen to a track. Like, I have a process, right? And I have to hear the music, and that's what can inspire words for me, right? But when I think about other things in life, a lot of my, if you want to call it creativity, is sparked by trying to connect dots in different ways. So whether that is you have an idea and I'm like, oh, you should do this, right? Or someone else has an idea, I'm like, oh, you should do this, right? I think the difference there is, like, mine is more sparked off of the creativity of others, not necessarily out of the blue. I think creatives do it out of the blue, and it's like Donnie, you're like an artist who can draw and create, and you do so many different facets of it. And like Jordan, same thing. Like, and I'll speak to another question that talks about this creativity and how you present it in probably more ways than you even think. But for me, it's always been like strategic. Like, okay, I know how to make your creativity on a better platform, on a bigger platform. You should do this, or hey, you should do this. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like I characterize myself a little different when it comes to creative. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I fall in that category.
But I,
You gonna get that? Go ahead, get him. Go ahead, get him.
I got you.
All right.
Go for it. Go
I
for it.
feel you, but I also feel like how you feel we get creative out of the blue. It's never out of the blue. Like there's always some inspiration. It's you just might not always pinpoint it at the time, but like for me, I might be in a room by myself, but I might be inspired by something that I'm watching, or just by having this conversation with you guys, just like a word that you might say or a phrase. You know what I'm saying? So it is a collaborative effort, and it does take other people and different energies for me to be inspired too. Like if I sat in a room all day, every day, I probably, I could see myself suffering creatively. You know what I mean? Like I would need some type of stimuli. But yeah, you're creative. Stop it.
But listen, notice I'm not saying I'm not saying not being a creative is a bad thing.
No,
I'm saying it's different. I just feel like it's different. And I'm telling you, there'll be other things that we come up with in this conversation that I'll tell you, especially Jordan, like how I know, like you saying you sitting in a room, like for a perfect example, look at where you're sitting right now. Look behind you, and then look behind me. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like that's small, and but it's a small representation of. I feel like you were sitting in one place, and you were like, I need to do something different. I needed to look like, okay, this is okay, cool. Now I'm good. To where I'm figuring out what I'm gonna put back here, so it looks better. But I'm like, I'm totally okay with the black wall behind me as well, and that's fine. You know what I mean? So that's just one example. I got more examples coming, but that's one. Well, you got the whole like San Fran, Seattle, wherever you at behind you.
It's SeaTac, bro. So like it's ambidextrous. You know what I'm saying? Look, here's what I'm saying. Like the thought process is that this is like, and this is just I guess artists talking to other artists, right? Like, look, both you guys got a huge paintbrush that you guys paint with, man. I've always respected both of your crafts as far as by way of, art. You know what I'm saying? Like that, just the work that you guys put out, it just needs more ears, more people that put it in front of. You know what I mean? And that's always what I got to say as far as by creativity. And by way of, I've always said, by way of the partnership between me and Baker, it's always been like the soul versus the machine. And Baker was always the soul, I was always the machine. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the juxtaposition, right? With regard to Jordan, it's like, look, Jordan, when you know what I'm saying, when you came to us, it's like you came to us with a lot of ideas, and then you just worked. You cannot substitute that work that you put in. You cannot substitute that drive that you put in. You cannot substitute that. You can't teach that. That you came through ready to go. We just didn't have the proper channels for you to go through in order for you to make it easier for you. You know what I mean? But you worked. That's the blessing. That's the things that I can see and look back and be like, wow, like that person is doing it because you got it. You already knew what it was. You just got it, and it worked for you, and you made it work for you. And I'm saying the same thing with Bakers, like I said, when like the blue, people still waiting on the blue. You know what I mean? Like so, at the end of the day, it's like, yo, like.
But that's music. That's music. Like I said, I think music. I'll definitely claim musician, but I'm not putting this on me. This is about Jordan.
It is about Jordan, but we have an open discussion. We have this discussion. So okay, I get that. Let's keep it moving. But and we gotta shout out Q Wingfield right here because Q he been throwing some stuff out there that we've been just ignored. But it's cool.
I know we had those. All right.
Yeah, let's get it in. Let's ask that question. So, what genre do you listen to that may be a surprise to your audience?
Uh-oh.
That's such a hard question to answer because I feel like nobody's going to be surprised.
Well, you probably listen to like K-pop or something.
Actually, no. I mean, I've heard and I've like off of research just trying to like, just I had to do some type of songwriting project where I had to research K-pop, so I was listening to it for that. But no, not like in my everyday life. I'm not really listening to it.
Okay.
But I guess maybe jazz. People probably be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
It's not surprising.
It's
Like, I
probably.
listen to
How about
jazz,
heavy metal? Heavy metal?
meditation music. Not really heavy metal. No.
Country is coming up in my book, like right now. Like
Country is dope, but it's not something I listen to.
country
Like,
got some stories, boy.
oh
Country
yeah,
got lyrics, boy.
country music is beautiful.
Yeah.
You want to hang yourself right now.
Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Oh my god.
I get it, but
All right, so let's talk about you moving to New York and how that impacted your music career.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, so how did it impact my career? Moving to New York. First of all, I left DC because I felt like I had reached a certain point that I was just like not getting ahead. So I was like, okay, I got to get above this glass ceiling. They say you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So, I kind of held on to that, went to school out here to study music. And honestly, it was a great decision. Like, it taught me hustle. It just taught me how to meet the right people and make connections and just do's and don'ts of the industry. And I don't know. I just really spread my wings. This is where I grew up as an adult. Like I learned how to be an adult in New York.
This is another one of those moments where I remember where you were like, I'm moving to New York to study music. Like, and it was like, okay, really? Like, where you gonna go? Like, you good to go? Like, you set up? Like, and you was like, yeah, I'm going. And it was like one of those things. I think Donnie talked about it. Like, a lot of people talk about making a move. Like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but you don't see it ever come to fruition. And it's like you said it and was like, yep, I'll be gone next week. So I was like, oh, okay. She's like, out of here.
Because where do these people be at? Because I don't know them. Everybody that I meet make me feel like I ain't doing shit. So I feel like
maybe they in the past. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why they ain't been on the podcast.
You talk to a lot of people, you hear a lot of shit. I mean, I think that is what it is. I mean, you are in NY, so I mean, it's about who you surround yourself with. I think with us being, trying to help a lot of different people and be in places where we wanted to do things like that, it made us run into a lot of people who would say certain shit, and you'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And then 3 weeks later, it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's not happening, but okay, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? You never want to squash anybody's like moves or dreams or thoughts. Like, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. Cool, go for it. And if not, whatever works. So,
and my piece on it is too is that, again, as Baker said, you always spoke. Maybe posthumously isn't the word because that's like a very morbid kind of phrase, but you always say it as though this is already done. Like, so I'm going to New York next week. Yeah. I got this. Yeah. It's like, yo, you thought about this like immediately, and it's like, yo, okay, well, I guess okay. Let us know if you need something. You know what I mean? But again, I know. I mean, and I'm saying it very endearingly because it's like at the end of the day, it's like, look, you never really kind of felt like I never felt like you needed any situation. You was just going to be regardless, and that's awesome. It was just like, okay, cool. Let's just point her as far in this direction as possible and just watch the glory, bro. Because it was like, okay, all right, well, yeah. So I'm gonna be in New York. Oh yeah, I got a show in Germany. Let me just go.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done a show in Germany, but yes, for manifestation, I receive it.
Well, you about to get it. So I mean, so when you see Germany, you be like, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying. But I mean, again, I'm saying it from a huge skill point. Like, you really just kind of was just like, look, yeah, so this is happening, and I respect it because I kind of did that too. And I'm not saying that like trying to steal your glow or nothing at all. It's just like, look, at the end of the day, look, I don't care who believes. This is what I believe, and this is what I'm going to do. And so I always gravitated toward that kind of light, that kind of energy. So to see you do it is just like, wow, so that's what that's like. Okay, that's awesome. You know what I mean? And you just kept building on top of building, on top of building, on top of building, proving, on top of proving, on top of proving, and it's dope. You know. So again, giving you your flowers, man. At the end of the day,
I received that. Thank you so much.
Yes.
no
All
doubt.
right, so we was talking about creativity. Here's one of the things that I think is definitely a creative thing about you. What inspires your style and fashion?
Oh, okay. There it is. Question.
That's a really good question.
Because creativity wise, this is another avenue that I think it comes out of you, like it manifests with you. So
yeah, that's true actually, and I never thought of it that way. One of the ways I creatively express myself has always been by doing my hair. I've been doing hair since I could sing also. So just experimenting with different styles and honestly, like working within a certain budget is like the most inspiration for me right now because it's like I have to get looks and I have to look dope, but I also have to mind my pockets and have to be conservative in that way because clothes ain't cheap and I'm coming out of pocket with all of these expenses myself. So, I got to be smart with where I spend my money. So, just like, just being inspired by how to be able to look the best without spending the most money and how to remix clothes and cutting things up. And how we did on in the hood or whatever, you remix clothes, you have hand-me-downs and you make them work because they don't really fit you like that. But if you do the shirt like this, then it's going to look cute or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that. And also just like my mood, like the weather, all of those factors play a part in how I decide to express myself fashion-wise that day. Like
and I
this
think that
now is I just got off of work, so I just had to throw something on that wouldn't look like a work uniform.
But no, it's dope, though. It's like, hey, whatever, like I'm doing me, and it's dope. It works for you. So
it's one of the things. Like we interviewed another artist, Cabana Black, and he has a similar thing where it's like when y'all step in the room, people may not know you, but it's like that person seems different. Like, and I think the fashion is a big part of it. And I think that's one thing that's always stood out about you from being even young. It was always like unique fashion and like style that you brought that was like you. Like I can't say, oh, she dresses like, or oh, it's this. It was always like, this is Jordan or Scarlett or Fire or whoever you want to be. Like that was like your style or your thing. So again, another level of creativity that I definitely think that comes from you. I mean, I've seen you with these what you call it, scarves. You did these scarves, shawl. I don't know what you call the things you had on.
Infinity stars that is another creative side of myself.
So I'm counting them off here. I just want you to see.
Okay,
like,
I see. Point
you
taken.
feel me? Like, it is what it is. I think you always gonna find a way to be creative. It may not be music, but it's gonna be something. Whether it's putting, sound diffusers in the closet to be like, look, but you ain't just like me. I'm putting them up. Square, right? We got designs and colors.
Oh shit, we got to make it look nice.
That's what I'm saying. It is what it is. I'm with it. I love it.
Nah, and I think that's he's absolutely touching on it. Like it's definitely a thing, right? And and shout out to Cabana too, because I actually talked to him this week too. And realistically, God, that's why I love Baker, because he literally y'all two. Cabana and Jordan King, yo, like y'all two definitely have like this thing where it's like I can't put a finger on it. I can't, if I try to put it like cage it, I can't. You know what I mean? And it's awesome because it's just you guys are nifty enough to be able to get around that type of thing because you're so creative, you're so awesome, you have so much, and it's like the energy comes through what you put out. You know what I mean? And that's just awesome, man. Like again, it can't be taught. It's just something that you just have, man. And kudos to that. So
thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, let's get it.
Q. Again, Q. What's the pros and cons of working the independent production versus mainstream production? I had to push the pause button on that question because that's one of those kind of questions. Pros and cons of working the independent production versus mainstream production.
I would like a little more clarity on what is
context.
I guess what I interpret that question to mean is like if I'm working with the independent producer versus a signed producer. Is that what
sound and stuff you're coming with that?
Okay. So pros and cons. So the pros of working with independent producers definitely gonna be the cost. Definitely going to be hopefully if you're working with anyone, it's gonna be because they want to work with you. So it won't be like in either situation, hopefully it wouldn't be like, you kind of begging this person to work with you. So they kind of, how some people could be just like indifferent and they just only doing it just because you might be paying them or something like that. Like that could definitely happen. In either or, whether it's an independent person or a major label person. But I guess the pro would be for independent, definitely cost efficient. I think you're able to probably be a little more creative because the person might be more willing to hear feedback and might be more willing to do more of a joint like collaboration. Like with me, I love to do or at least have input in my production. Like it doesn't make sense for me to just like kind of write a song to a beat as is and then just leave it like that because I have so many ideas and the beat need to drop here, put a different instrument on this part, like different things that will enhance and bring everything together and bring everything to life. Right. So I think you're more likely to be able to do that and have more of a creative input with an independent producer, but with I guess major label producer, they probably gonna already have like a direction that they want to take the song in, and because maybe they have more clout, they gonna, it's kind of like their way or the highway. It shouldn't be like that, but it can often feel like that, which kind of sucks the creative juices out of everything. So that sucks. But if it's the pro for a major label person working with a major label producer would be because they got their foot in the door. They not even their foot, but they sitting in the room, so they got access to the network and just different opportunities. So once you got that cosign, it's like that's it.
Right.
That's it. And it's like you working harder, not smarter. But it could really go either way. It's all depends on if it's the right person, if it's the right match, whether it's an independent person or a signed person or someone who's been super successful recently in the industry or someone who has taken the back seat or has fell off or got washed up or whatever. You know what I mean? Like all of that stuff doesn't matter. It's about the vibe, the connection, and just like how everything meshes, like the synergy of it all. To me, that's the most important.
Okay. Great answer.
I like it. No, I agree. I think you hit on great points with the creativity part of it. I definitely think that can be a con of working with a mainstream producer because a lot of times if you got sent to that producer is to get that producer's sound. And it's not about you as much as getting that sound on your project. And definitely independent producers a lot of times more want to build with you. Now, once you build clout as an artist, you can go to any producer and then have that kind of collaboration you're talking about. But that does take time in figuring it out. And, so I think like I was telling somebody, I think one of the best collabs that I'm seeing right now, I don't know what's going to come out of it, but like Jermaine Dupri and Anthony Hamilton right now, like how they're showing. I mean, he's on. Anthony's on So Def, or he's like he was signed there first.
Oh,
So
really?
like the new album that Anthony's putting out, like they're working on it, kind of like the whole thing together. So Jermaine is putting up like little videos of them, and then Anthony will put up a video. And I think their chemistry has always been dope. But like Anthony worked with him a lot on the first album, and then kind of like moved on to other producers, and now he's coming back.
Mhm.
I just think it's chemistry. Like Jermaine Dupri just has a certain chemistry with the artist. He's a producer. He sits in there and does the work, and like is
Right.
one of them late night, sessions and things like that. So I just like to see that because you don't see it that often anymore. Everything is like microwave, like really quick. Here's the beat, go sing. Okay, boom, we got a song, and not really vibing out. So
Right.
love to see that.
Mhm.
Our next question I'm really interested in because I actually don't know too much about this part about with you. Tell us more about the O Sisters.
Okay. All right. So.
Okay. It's gonna be fun.
I don't know anything about this.
I love O Sisters. O Sisters are amazing. So basically, for those who don't know, O Sisters is a super group of superhuman women who are all artists, creatives that come from different parts of the world. Africa, Germany, Bosnia, Paris, uh, United States, that's me. Um, Tunisia, it's a few other places too, but yeah, just all coming together for the collective of and just the motivation of just like unity and spreading positive energy and just oneness and saving the planet, saving the earth, saving ourselves, and just putting good vibes into the universe. It's Oh Sisters is a movement. It's like it's something that doesn't necessarily have a face because it's everybody. So when you look at the branding, it's always black and white. It's always like some type of like cartoony kind of like trippy,
Mhm.
mindful kind of like visuals.
Mhm.
Because it's meant to kind of, I don't want to say hypnotize, but yeah, it's meant to hypnotize you into like, I don't want to say like being woke because that's like the overused term, but like we trying to wake you the fuck up. Like, yo, shit is going down right now, y'all. Like, let's get it together. But doing that in a way that it's like, okay, um, it's a nice beat to it. It's a nice groove. We could fist bump. We could, go on a festival stage and rock out, but we still have that underlying message of peace, positivity, help out your brother, help out your sister. We're here for one another. Eat your veggies and, get your exercise. You know what I'm saying? Like, take care of yourself. All of that.
Yeah. How did it come about? Like, how did you become affiliated with it? Because I feel like, to be like honest, it was like I, always am trying to, watch from a distance if I can, just see what's going on, and then like next thing I know, you was in black and white suits, like killing it on stage. I'm like, where did this come from? Like, what happened?
That's how it happened. See, you just got to be ready for anything. Actually, what happened was so I had been working with a producer by the name of Nate Jones. Nate Jones on bass. He's dope. He's worked with a lot of people in the music industry. But I was working with him out of this studio in the city, and one of the engineers, well, actually not one of, but the engineer for that session, for a few of our sessions, his name is PM. And he's from Paris. Amazing guy, awesome, talented, humble, down to earth. And he actually had a friend that was also from Paris that later on down the line, long after we hadn't even been working together, hadn't talked to each other for, at least a few months, but hit my phone and was like, yo, I have a friend that's looking for gospel singers for her project. She's coming to New York. She's from Paris. She's coming to New York. She needs some session singers. So I was a part of that session. I got hired to do the session. We were just doing basic background vocals, nothing crazy. They just needed soulful singers for this project. So we did that. me, a few other women. Mind you, O Sisters, I didn't mention this, but it's an all woman movement. I don't think I said that, but everybody in the group is a woman. So girl power, all that good stuff. So
That's what I felt.
just creating that women empowerment feel. But yeah. So we were working in the studio, and it became a late night, and I was probably the last person out of everybody that got hired to still be there. And they also knew that I could rap, so they ended up asking me, can you write a verse for one of these songs? I'm like, of course, yeah, I'll do that. Stayed, as you said, work ethic, stayed, made sure that it was right, and they just really appreciated, I guess, seeing my work ethic. And they were like, actually, Emily specifically, DJ Miss Ill, that's who is like the spearhead of the entire O Sisters movement, and she's originally from Paris, and I think she actually originally from the south of France. My apologies if I'm wrong, but she's from France. And yeah, so she was like, yeah, so I really like the work you're doing. Da, 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 da. Would you be interested in going on tour with us? And I'm like, of course. Like, I got my passport, book the ticket, let me know what's up. And you already know how we were just speaking of this earlier, how sometimes people say stuff and they talk a lot of shit, but they don't back it up. So I'm like, I kind of made that remark flippantly, like, yeah, I got my passport. Like, yeah, of course, I'm down. But of course,
Yeah.
I meant it, but I didn't know if she was actually like really about that life. But we were both, lo and behold, about that life. So, yeah, a few months later, and a few songs later, we continued to collaborate and make great music, and the rest was history. I went out there for like a show or two just to have the group present to that, what was the area, Britannia, to the area of what's it called? Y'all gonna make me look bad. I can't I can't remember the name of the town we were in. But basically we were starting there and making a name for ourselves with, throughout the rest of France. But we were starting, I think it's Britannia. That's the name of that area, that city. And yeah, so went out there for like a test little show to see how they would respond, and they loved us, and the rest was kind of history. Just kept working, working.
All right.
That's dope. That's dope. Again, incubator markets is always where you want to land at, man. Because at the end of the day, yeah, they tell you exactly what direction you're gonna be at, flat out. Kudos, man. You get the flowers. That's what I'm saying.
Always being ready, that work ethic. Look,
That's what I'm saying.
that's dope. All right, so
He is working.
Okay, Quentin Wingfield, I see you.
Hey, what a fan for sure.
No
Kill,
doubt. All right,
that's a fan.
so let's see. If you could collab with any two artists, who would it be and why?
The why part.
The why part.
First of all, I hate this question because why only two artists? There's so many.
Cause there's two.
Because
Can't have anything you want.
you got to boil it down. Got to boil it down.
At least 15. Okay. All right. So the two that I'm gonna just name right now, because I have to name only two. I'm gonna say Anderson .Paak and Tierra Whack. And why is because I absolutely, first of all, Anderson, I absolutely love his sound. I love his creativity, his whole creative package. He produces, sings, raps. Like, when I heard Anderson .Paak for the first time, I was like, yo, this is the shit that I've been trying to get niggas to understand, is what I've been trying to do. Like, why niggas don't get this? Like, this is it right here. So, like, hearing his music was so exciting because he just is never afraid to experiment and do different things and try different sounds. And that's all, I'm all about that. And same with Tierra Whack too. Like, she sings, she raps, she's just a phenomenal lyricist. Like, her bars is just crazy. She will murder anybody. And I would just love to create with her. She just seems like such a dope person, and her visuals, like the fact that she creates everything and it just all starts out in her brain and it just manifests.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that she's able to just put, like the way she's able to paint her canvas, basically, I just think is really, really dope. And I would love to be around that energy.
Yeah. You know, I would throw one in there for you too, just for you, as far as somebody that I think you should pair with and align with is her. I think that's a you know what I mean, like just to really kind of be like, yo, the just that I don't even know the word I can put it in, and I'm usually good with words, Baker. Like I don't even understand what's going on. Like you just, you know what I mean, like you, her, you know what I mean. I understand Anderson .Paak. You know what I'm saying. Like I like the whole nine. I really think that, you know, that's where you should be at for real. You know what I'm saying. For real.
I can see it. You know, my creative person right now that I like always am like enamored with his stuff is I can't say his name. That's the bad part. It's Toby.
Yeah. I don't know, but yes.
Hey, his visuals are just like amazing to me, and his songs. I mean, he's a dope lyricist, but his visuals take it to a whole nother level. And I'm gonna figure out how to say your name, Toby. I promise. Like I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna go. Somebody said it somewhere on some show, and I'm gonna watch that show, and I'm gonna figure out how to say it. So because I've done this like 2 to 3 times on Two Flew West, where I say Toby Ningwe. And Ningwe. But hey, he's a dope artist. He's a dope artist. All right, so what impact do you hope your music leaves on your listeners?
I just hope that people leave inspired and motivated to become their best self. That's the simplest way I could put it. When I create my music, I create it out of my own necessity to survive and to just thrive and become better than my circumstances. So I would just hope that people receive that message to just, you know, keep going, and no matter how bad it gets or how bad it might be now, you know, you always have a way to become better and to stay consistent and stay patient and, you know, just be your best self and learn, just becoming more self-aware too. Like I think life is about being more self-aware and improving constantly and not being complacent. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it.
Have you had a moment yet where someone has listened to a song you put out and like gave you one of those compliments or comments where you're like, whoa, like that it hit where it was supposed to?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost like I'm tearing up thinking about it, because you don't always think that, you know, you're gonna actually impact somebody's life, but when somebody says to you, especially when it's somebody that I don't expect to be like musically inclined or whatever, when they say, yo, the way you layered these vocals here, or just the way you said this phrase, or it's just certain like specific things that randomly people will pick up on, and I'm like, yo, I wasn't even expecting nobody to peep that. Like, yeah. Those moments definitely make it worth it for sure.
Yeah, I can agree. I have to agree with that. Like those moments where someone can resonate, or something you said resonates with them, and they like let you know, and it's like, that's exactly what I wanted people to feel or like have. That's like, that's what makes it definitely worth it. So cool. All right, well, talking about your music, you just released a visual for one of your songs, "Gowd." So just want you to kind of talk about it a little bit, talk about, you know, how you came up with the song, and then we're gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so God is a very, very special song for me. I wrote it years ago around the time when I don't know if y'all remember Charlemagne the God's book Black Privilege dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he was speaking about how, white privilege versus black privilege and, what that means. And I kind of took that and ran with it. And I was already, I think we were all kind of feeling, if not the same way, but we were all having feelings around that same type of subject because of everything that's been happening, that's continuing to happen even so many years later, with black people and police brutality and just dealing with being black in America or just being black in the world, period. And I just was tired, and I just wanted to write something that made sense to me and something that I felt would be motivational and just something that reflected how I felt about uh, just the progress, or not necessarily progress, but just the process of getting your mind together and getting your mind right to have to go out and face your battles every day. And so God was like that anthem for me to be like, yo, let's get up, let's get it. If you gotta grind Sunday to Sunday, find 5 ways out of no way, do it, make it happen, because we got greatness within us. That's what the acronym God stands for. Greatness always wins, damn it. No matter what, if you find the greatness within yourself, you're gonna win, period. So yeah.
You writing this down, bro? That's supposed to be the Two Flew West thing. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's one for the week. Greatness always wins, damn it.
Greatness always wins. Damn it. I love it. Anything you want to speak on about the visuals before we jump into it?
Yeah, actually, it's such a beautiful thing how things tend to work out and you just don't know, until it happens, and it's like, wow, what the fuck. So we spoke about Oh Sisters. So the videographer of the God music video, I met him through Oh Sisters because he was a videographer that was recording one of the festival performances we did, one of the first ones we did actually. And his name is Damien. He is amazing, and he works out of Paris. But so often he would come to Brooklyn for like a trip that he would take with some students, I think, that he was working with. And he made one of those trips to Brooklyn and was like, yo, I'm coming through, you should shoot a video. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. And so, we made it happen. And that wasn't the first time. We've done, a lot of other things that are yet to be seen. So I'm really excited for everybody to see the things that we've worked on together. But yeah, it was dope. Like, a lot of people came through and showed their faces and made little cameo appearances in the video, and it was really, really dope just to have all the support and see everything come together. And it was just so genuine and just like, yo, y'all, let's just get it together, let's make it happen. And everybody was just so willing and just made everything what it was, and it's dope.
Awesome. Greatness always wins, damn it.
Always.
So, without further ado, here it is, Jordan King with God.
It's just different. They pointing, they aiming, they shooting the hate. But we ducking, we dodging, we weaving away. Still we stepping and styling, we without a grace. We don't give a damn about your narrow state of mind, so we grind Sunday to Sunday, and we find 5 ways out of no way. Yeah, they try their best to throw shade, but we so damn hard to hate. They do it 'cause they upset, yeah. What the fuck you gon' say? Fear is fly, fear is free, so you fuss and complain. Fear your privileges won't be the same. Just let me remind you, it's a virus, just a pedigree. Treat it like you were studying and keep that in mind. Like an every stay recovering, never been afraid to hustle. So like always we grind. Sunday to Sunday, and we find 5 ways out of nowhere. Yeah, they try their best to throw shade, but we so damn hard to hate. They do it 'cause they upset. Don't stray, yes, make them say my God. Covered pure seduction, that's why I'm stuck to niggas. I keep running, just can't keep up to niggas. Love the hustle and the culture that I stole from my niggas. Be 100, not for nothing, I had enough of niggas.
You're supposed to say boss after that.
Boss. Right. You hear it?
It's supposed to be like boss.
Chocolate covered seduction. You hear me?
That's my only thing.
You hear it? You hear it?
Everything was crazy. But you're supposed to say boss. And that's again, that has sealed it. I was like, yep.
Hey, you hear it, man. You hear it. You hear it. Damn it.
The maturation. That's the word. You know, I gotta say, because I'm that guy. I'm the asshole. I got the maturation to be able to be like, okay, because I remember a time, but you know what I'm saying. But then, whoop, and it's like the way you approach the vocals, the way you attacked it. Who is this person? Like, who is her representation? I gotta find that. Like, you know what I mean? Like maturation, yo. You landed that bird. That was awesome. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Seriously.
And the visual just brings it all together. Like we talked about your fashion earlier, and it's showing all through that joint. I don't know how the hell you got them boots on. And nevertheless, how you got the boots on and then bend down and get back up. Like, I mean, damn it, look. I'm talking about it, man. Like you it's a whole thing. It's the thing that, like we said, you can't teach it. Some people just got it, and you definitely got it. So, you know, flowers to you on that one, man.
So can I flip the script? I want to ask y'all a question real quick.
There you go.
So seriously, like, what did y'all get from this song? Like, what stood out to you guys most about this song?
He go first. Yeah, I did that. You got to be on your toes or shit. You want me to answer? I'll answer first. That's cool. I just wanted to be on.
Go ahead. I have an answer, but go ahead.
Listen, okay. So you let me ask you this question: Do you want specificity to your answer? Because I can tell you about everything that I'm saying that I feel, and I can tell you like the whole construct of what I get from what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But are you asking what are you saying from it, or are you saying what is my genuine feelings from it? And
what is your genuine feelings? I want to know how you perceive it and what stuck out to you.
Purse. So like my thing is this. Look, at the end of the day, I think that is a very boss project that you put out. Okay, the visuals was very solid. It definitely hit you in the mouth. right? It wasn't like it was like, oh, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Like you put out a project, oh, that's nice. You put out a video, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, I'd be like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? No, it's very boss.
Donnie
Very,
be quick to be like, that was cool.
yeah, you know, hey, look, it was roasting me. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but here's my thing. I'd be like, it's solid. Like it's that Sagittarius in me. Like it's like that's limited. Because if I feel you could do more, I feel you can do more. That's not neither saying that you can or you cannot achieve that. That's just me saying that, okay, at the end of the day, that's what you put out. I respect, but it might not. That was boss. That's why I said to me, it had me check my Rolodex. Like, damn, who is this person? I got to go on IMDb. Hold up. Who is this person? Like, who's represented? I need to send some tracks to there. See if I can get placed. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely. That's why I said maturation is key. It's a very mature song, very mature. Like, and then not even in a way of, you know, in any kind of weird kind of connotation to it. It's just a very solid song by a very good artist with very good, you know, songwriting. The visuals were crazy. So kudos to the videographer too. You know what I mean? Like it just really landed. That's why I said it just landed. Like I really am in awe of the place that you're at because I'm like, I should be attached to the Jordan King, but I'm not a part of the Jordan King project. You know what I mean? But you know that's the end of it. At the end of the day, I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy.
You can be. I mean, I'm saying.
Well, the conversation is the conversation. So now we open and we lit.
1 hour, 7 minutes and 49 seconds. I heard it.
But not to take the light from what is there. Let's do this. Boop. That shit's crazy. I fuck with it. And I'm saying like off the real live, I fuck with it. I definitely like the visuals. I definitely like the sound. It's a lot of attitude. It's every bit of everything. Like that's from Scarlet Fire. That's from Jordan King. That's everything cumulative into this one little package of what it is. I'm very happy and very proud for you for the step that you at. You deserve your flowers on this one. It's the vibe for sure.
Thank you.
No doubt.
I think about. I remember you. I can't say dates, but I remember you put the audio of the song out first, and I hit you up then, and I was like, "Hey, this joint right here, like, whoa, you know what I mean?" So adding the visuals now to me, I mean, it exudes confidence. It exudes like punch people in the mouth with it, like give it all to them. I feel like I would relate it to like you remember when Rihanna came out with Umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the visuals, and you remember when people were like, "Oh shit, she turning it up or not? She going somewhere that's like crazy, right?" That's what I feel. It feels like knowing you for how long we've known you. It feels like this moment of like it all fusing together exactly how you wanted it to where like mixing of like lyrics, like a bit of rap, singing, harmonies, the music, the fashion. Like I know your eye and like you had some like a lot to do with all of that, if not all of it, as far as the look of it when it comes to what you're wearing and those things. And I feel like it all just was like boom, like that moment of it's all fitting together. And that's what I see. It's like I call it like your Rihanna moment of Umbrella. Like you're about to kill shit. Like, and that's where you're at. So
and let me say this too. Let me put this way. Let me say this too. Piggyback on what he's saying. When I say maturation, I mean that exactly what he said. It's an arrival of a place of all of these things that I feel that you were searching for. You finally, it was like, okay, these are the ingredients. This is what we got right here. This is awesome. You know what I mean? And I think that you really nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. The attitude, the pomp and circumstance. Like I own this. I worked hard for this, and this is where I'm at. I have arrived. This is the arrival. I love it. I can't. You know what I'm saying? And you know I'm Simon with it. I absolutely feel that this is the arrival, and absolutely, yeah. Kudos. You get.
All right, so we're coming towards the end. We got a couple more questions. We're gonna get you out of here. Look, she ready to get out of here quick.
I'm not actually. I'm just
Actually,
no. I'm enjoying this conversation so much that I'm plugging my phone so I won't die. So nothing bad will happen.
You good? No worries. So look, quick question. We talked about like working with people and like who were inspirations to you, but tonight they have the rematch of the versus battle of Swiss Beats and Timberland. So I want to know, like, as an early pick, if you could work with just one of them on a project, who would you pick?
This is unfair. It's so unfair. It's not fair. This is not a good question. This is a terrible question.
Okay.
Y'all are fired. Nah, I really, honestly, I have no idea how I would be able to pick between Swiss and Nimbo. Like, legit. All right, I'm gonna go with this decision, and I'm gonna tell you why. But it has nothing to do with like musical talent, because I feel like musically, we would probably be able to do equally, like the amount of we'd probably be able to do greatness. Like either way, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be the shit. But I'm gonna pick Timbaland because DMV. I'm gonna pick Timbaland because Missy Elliott. And I'm pick Timbaland because I feel in my spirit that the collaborative vibe would be there, and I would really just love to, like, just collaborate. Like, I would love for it to be like an actual collaborative experience, not just a Jordan, you sit in the booth and do what I tell you to do, which I don't feel like Tim would do. Right. I don't know him, never met him, but that's just my own perception. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that pick for you. I think I would pick the same thing for you. I think in my head, I think about what he did, like with Aaliyah. I think about what he did with Justin Timberlake.
I didn't even think about that, but you know what's crazy? Not everybody that hears God, but a lot of people that hear God give me the Aaliyah reference to that song, and I don't hear it. I still don't hear it, but
it's not. You can't quantify it audibly. It's a presence. And I think
it's an essence. Like, yeah. I don't know.
It's definitely the one in a million album. One in a million album vibe. Like, I definitely hear why people say that. Like, it is. I definitely would pick him, and I think, like you said, like the connection to Missy. Because I mean, it's fair to say you would have, like, if you went with Swiss, you'd have Alicia probably there, which is that's.
I mean, that's cool too, but that's not really where I'm at with it.
I feel you. I feel you.
No sauce. No sauce.
no sauce at all. No sauce at all. Just speaking of mine.
I know, I got you. I definitely. And I would say the same thing too. And everybody that knows Donnie B knows that that's the, Timbo he's the sensei. So I'm like, oh, okay. No, I absolutely heard like all of the stuff that you've done, Baby Girl in there, like the whole, like it's just like if I could put that up, like you more like Aaliyah. That's just my vibe. So that's why I feel. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm glad you said that because I would say the same thing, but.
I appreciate that. Everybody loves Aaliyah, so I'm always like super honored to even get that reference. Like, but also the way Tim produces his music, I didn't even mention this at first, but it just hit me, like, because I be watching interviews all the time, so I like to really see how people's process is, and just how they go about, especially producers, because that's not really a world that I'm super like in, but I want to learn as much as I can. And he freaking produces with his mouth. Like he produces with his voice.
Yeah.
Which I think is so dope. Like he gets his instrumentation from mouth first, beatboxing, and just whatever sound he hears is like he just makes it audible through his mouth first, and then he, puts the sounds and the programming and everything like that. So I think I would love to see that process. Like I think that's so dope. So dope.
Michael Jackson used to do that too.
Like a motherfucker.
Hey.
Do that. True
Michael
that.
was killer with that. You hear some of them like bust down tracks and hear him in the background, you'd be like, God damn, he was. People used to be like, I can't redo that, so we just gonna keep that in the song.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that, so it is what it is. But yeah, greatness. All right, so wrapping this up, what's next for Jordan King? What do you got coming? What are you working on? What are you excited about?
Exciting things, like just new music, because I've been holding this music hostage for a long time. So, just looking forward to releasing these songs, and I got a project that I'm working on to release next year as well. But within the next couple of months, definitely a lot more music coming out. And I wish I could say, I'm going on tour, but COVID and whatnot. You just never know what's gonna happen with that.
Yeah.
But hopefully things are going back to normal, and I'll be able to, be comfortable with being on stage a lot more. This is just crazy times, but I really miss the stage, y'all. So
yeah,
y'all got a stage. Anybody out there listening, y'all got a stage for me to go on, and I could just do my thing 1, 2 real quick. Let me know, because I'm trying to get on my stage. But new music is what's next for me. New music.
Awesome. We've been flashing it at the bottom and on your name, but like let people know where they can find you online.
Yes, you can find me on my website, jordanking.com. You can find me on all social media platforms at Jordan King Music or I Love Jordan King. So either one of those 2 handles, you can find me. Jordan King Music on Instagram. I Love Jordan King on Facebook. All that. Yeah. Spotify, all the music's on all the streaming platforms. The video that was just released, God, that's on Vivo. So make sure you subscribe to the new Vivo channel. That's important.
It is.
Jordan King Vivo. And yeah.
It is. So anything like, we at the end, it's where we wrap it up. Anything you just want to say, like in closing, any last words you kind of want to put out there to the people as we close out?
I always feel so pressured to say something smooth and profound, and not just drawing the blank.
Yeah.
I just had like the sauce with it, just like, ooh. I guess I'll just leave you with, don't forget your greatness and don't forget to use it, and don't ever let anybody take your greatness from you, whatever that may be. And if you're not aware of it yet, don't be afraid to find it. Learn yourself, know yourself, improve yourself. And I'm saying that to myself and also to, everybody that's listening. I think it's really important. And never stop chasing your dreams.
There it is. That was smooth. You got it. You pulled it off. Listen, I got a quick question. Do you know Suji?
Suji Otis.
Or Noreen?
That sounds very familiar.
She's a songwriter. She said she met you. I forgot where she said she met you, but she just was like a big fan. Said how awesome you are.
Where's she from?
She's from home, but I don't know. Wait, I forgot what she said. Y'all met.
I know that name too.
But she was just saying, like, because she asked me, like, how do you know her? And I told her, and she was like, yeah, I just met her. It slips my mind where she said she met you. But she just talked about, like, how awesome you were.
That's Suji.
Oh,
that's Suji.
Shout out to you.
But she just said you were super awesome and, like, just a real humble, kind person. And she was, like, really impressed with you. So wanted to give you those flowers. But
shout out
at
to
the
Suji.
end of the day, yes, Suji's dope. We gotta get Suji on here, man.
Yeah, we definitely.
Dope, like, she got a dope pen, and she don't bullshit. Like, if something ain't right, she gonna tell you. She be like, nah, that ain't it. It just be like,
funny way possible, but it'd be serious.
Hey, super professional. Like, she's just about her craft and don't want people like messing up the hard work she put in. So she's gonna work with you to make sure you get it where it needs to be. And I respect that. I think that's dope because some people will just let you go and it'd be like, that don't even sound good. Like,
Yeah,
nah.
no, we don't do those over here. We're not doing
Exactly.
Yeah, we know you ain't gonna you ain't gonna allow.
I mean, I just want to say, like, you know, I got nothing but love for you. Like, so proud of everything that you've accomplished thus far and everything you're doing. Really appreciate you coming on the show. It's been great catching up and talking to you. You know, I'm looking forward to everything that you got coming out. I'm excited. I'm like a fan. I definitely watch it and see what you have going on. So know that though we may not have seen each other in a while or talked like in a while, like I'm always watching just to see what's going on, to see how you doing, see where you at, and supporting what you're doing. So thank you for coming on. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh my God.
I want to give you an opportunity to speak before I speak. So do you have anything that you want to say?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for being so instrumental in my development as an artist. For the viewers who don't know, like this relationship that we've had has been like going on years and years and years now, and like these are some guys that have never like folded or been fake, and like I always appreciate that, and I don't take that lightly. I don't take it for granted. So thank you for always showing me that you guys have my best interest at heart and always willing to help and give flowers when due, and just like always just being so dope. And outside of your relationship with me, just being dope within your own rights and your own talents and creative endeavors, and just being amazing and great. And thank you guys just for being yourselves, and thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So I guess it's my turn.
Go ahead and close us out with the last words.
Yeah, so I guess I gotta say this, man. Like, look, I think part of the thing that I admire the most is because the journey that I've had to learn myself. You know, I being young really was very cocksured and everything that I thought that I knew, but I realized that I you know, the man who knows something knows he knows nothing at all, right? And I've had to learn that. That was the hardest part of my journey, even as a dad. You know what I mean? You think you know everything, but you don't. And at the end of the day, you know, I've matured along the way too. But the thing about it is that to be able to see the people around me that I care about the most succeed, because I felt like I put in something, not everything, but something. I give you something to work for. It's been the biggest part of my journey. You know what I mean? It's helped me to get from point A to point B. And like you said earlier in the broadcast, where people don't always give it to you. You know what I mean? And you don't always see it. You just, you know what I'm saying? You go through it, and then after a while, I've lost who I thought I was, or who I thought I was going to be. I've been lost that. It's been about everybody else. So now it's just like now coming back now, seeing all of the things, the work that was put in and the people that I believed in. It was like, things happen, obviously. And you'd be like, well, maybe it wasn't what you thought it was. But no, it's exactly what you thought it was. It's exactly what you see, because it's the people, it's those same people that don't let you down. Jordan, you was one of them. You know what I mean? You was the first. You was the first. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's always been love about that. You was always the first. You was baby girl. So that was baby girl first, above all else. And you do what you do. You get your flowers, man. Like, I'm so proud of you, man. I am so happy for everything that you've done. If you've done it, you fought, you scratched with everything that you had. We couldn't teach you that. We didn't teach you that. We just taught you about everything else. You know what I mean? So happy for that. Happy for you. With regard to everything else, it's just like, look, I just want to see what you're going to do with it, with what you got now. And that's going to be awesome, because I already know what it's going to be. You know what I mean? Baker already knows what it's going to be. You already know what it is with us. So we watching you, we supporting you. If there's anything you need, you already know what time it is. Don't think about it. Just hit us up. We there. You know what I mean? And that's for life.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm saying, so that is what that is. With regard to everything else, man, look, Two Flew West. Not to get all fucking touchy feely or whatever, but Two Flew West, Two Flew West, man. We here every Sunday, man. 3 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. What is it? What is it? Pacific D time. That the D is the daylight time, right? So, I don't know because you muted. He had it was a profound joke or whatever, whatever.
I thought it was PST. I've been putting Pacific Standard Time.
It is Pacific Standard Time, but when they do the little time thing, then it becomes PDT, and it's because California do shit weird. They like weirdos, but I love them. But anyway, 3 hours behind East Coast. That's where you find us. Like and subscribe, everything. Make sure you follow. Go to IamJordanKing.com. Make sure you support this sister. Make sure you support and like and subscribe everything she got going on. You already know. You done seen it. She killing the game right now. She about to kill the game even further. So get in while you can get in, because if not,
the price going up.
Yeah, the price going up. Like a real quick question, really quick question. It's a spitfire question, Joy. You gotta throw it out there.
Sure.
Being the fact that you're from the DMV,
being
the fact that you went to New York, being the fact that you were eclipsed and had all of these things, you jumped through all of these hurdles and become the icon that you are. Let me ask you this. With regard to being the DMV artist in the world, do you feel people need to get? Do you feel people give you the artist that the flowers that you deserve, or do you feel that you like, y'all really need to understand and recognize what it is that I've done to kind of just get out of here? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Really quick. Sorry.
No, it's no need to apologize. That's a great question. I think an even better question would be, do I give myself the flowers that I deserve? Because I think that's most important. I think that if you're waiting on other people to give you flowers, your ass gonna die waiting. Unless you got incredible people like, Nick Baker and Donnie B in your corner, you know what I'm saying? But that don't always happen. And when it does happen, it doesn't happen not necessarily like as often as you might need it to. You know what I mean? I think it's important to constantly remind yourself the amount of work that you have put in, and the time and the effort and the money and the investments and the sacrifices. And that's how you get by, for me. Because I don't know, like I never feel like I'm necessarily getting flowers from people, other than this interview has been flowers on flowers on flowers, and I'm just receiving all of them and basking in it. So thank you. But it's like, I don't know, like we live in this world where negativity thrives and is the loudest noise over everything. And even when you do receive flowers from other people, it's like you might be so busy paying attention to the negative comments on your Instagram that you're not focused on the positive. So I guess that's just my roundabout way of saying it's not about what other people choose to acknowledge or not acknowledge. It's about your focus and keeping the people around you that are going to continue to feed you spiritually and emotionally and mentally, and help you to succeed and be around people who are reflections of what you want to be. Because if you're around people that's not doing shit, then you're gonna be an ain't doing shit ass person yourself. So I don't know. I guess that was kind of a complicated answer, and I guess it kind of wasn't an answer, but I don't know. I guess no. I guess the answer is no. I don't feel like I get flowers from people, but also I don't want to feel that is important either. because I don't want to be reliant on that, and I wanna be able to remind myself of my own greatness. I think that's more important.
Baker, want to touch that before I do?
She said enough.
Jordan, as far as I'm concerned, like, look, just because you don't win an Academy Award don't mean that you don't get the prize. At the end of the day, we know what we put in. At the end of the day, it's a hazard of work. It's work pay. It's hazard pay. You know what I mean? It comes with the territory, and it is what it is. But I applaud you for understanding that and being at a point in your career as to where you understand what comes with the territory, and you still put out good quality fucking work. No more need to be said. At the end of the day, you're an industry veteran. So proud of you. Just so proud. And you know what I mean? And that's that. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know what else that needs to be said with that other than as far as I'm concerned, you have been arrived, but you get your flowers now. You have definitely arrived in the grander scheme of things. So you have nothing else to prove to me. Not like you need to prove anything to me, whatever. But I'm just saying, from a perspective, it is what it is, man. Like you get that. You have arrived, and you are definitely somebody I need to. I got to see what I got in the repertoire to see. Okay, I got to send it to her people. Get a placement. You know what I mean? So I got to go through proper channels.
Yo, you funny. Yeah, have your people call my people, and we'll work it out.
There it is.
See what I'm saying? This is where we at these days.
There it is.
There it
is.
Nah, Baker, any last words?
Be good, man. Like
any last words?
Nah, I mean, I feel like I had a lot of last words. I just want to say peace and blessings and love and happiness to everybody, and that's it. Good energy, good vibes. God energy. How about that? God energy.
I love it.
Energy. Listen, Jordan, hang around for a second so we can button everything up post the interview. Look, thank you guys for tuning in to Two Flew West. This is a dope interview. This is what Two Flew West brings to the table, man. Make sure y'all tune in each and every Sunday between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. However we choose to do it, because it's Two Flew West. That's what we do. Nonetheless, dope interviews regardless. Stay tuned. Be sure to like and subscribe on all of our pages. You'll find us at 2 Flew West. Very simple to follow, and that is that. I'm Donnie B.GotDaBeats. It's my brother Nicholas Baker. Make sure that you follow this brother as well. Make sure you follow Jordan King. Follow this sister as well. We doing it. We living it, and we do well. That is all. We gonna let the planes fly.
Let the planes fly. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.